we go.
It's like there's always a little delay when it shows us it's online, and then we sit down, and it shows me sitting down every time, and I try to get over here as fast as I can.
Oh, damn, I was going to totally do a gag. I'll save it.
Uh-oh. I threw you off.
Well, I didn't know when it started officially, so.
Oh. We're started. Hello, everyone. We're live.
A little late, but that's just because he was helping me out with something.
It's all good. We got the couch moved.
Yeah, we did.
Downstairs.
That happens to me all the time. We're delivering it into a garage. Oh, can you take it in the house?
Every time.
They always wait till I'm there with the shit.
It's because they know.
Yeah, they know. They know you can't say no once you're there.
Yeah.
Because you've already brought it there.
All right, so before we get started on anything, do you have any openers or
yeah,
what you got?
Our merch store is open.
Yeah, and I actually have it linked in the description.
I was just going to say, we'll have it linked in the description. You can get your official Average Intelligence podcast gear. Mm-hmm. And there's actually quite a few options. We've had some pretty good...
this monkey right here.
You can have it on a t-shirt in various formats.
Indeed. Indubitably.
You can also pick up the full print Arte Media shirt, which I got to say, I'm proud of that thing.
Which is Jake's channel.
Oh, yeah, that's the other...
We have that linked in the description
that's the other news that we had is my channel is up and running.
Oh, yeah.
Officially.
Yep.
And then there was one other thing. Oh, and then we also have the Sorry I'm Dyslexic shirt available.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that was ours or if that was just
that's ours.
coming in from another one.
That's ours, buddy.
All right. So.
And there are more to come. Soon we'll be unveiling a Give Me the Hat t-shirt or I Need the Helmet or something like that.
Yeah. Because this is our conspiracy theory hat.
Yeah.
Instead of a typical,
It's a tinfoil hat.
Yeah, it's a tinfoil hat, but it's a little more...
It's to keep the lizard...
It's modernized.
It's to keep the lizard people from reading your brainwaves.
I hate those lizard people. Alex Jones knows about them, though. I'm a little retarded.
Man, that's how I learned about the lizard people. Alex Jones speaks the truth. It's eerily true sometimes, a lot of the time.
Yeah. Hey, the frogs really were gay. The remix was amazing.
Can you be gay if you can physically change your gender, though? Because frogs can actually... Well, some species of frogs can actually do that. That's how Jurassic Park happened.
They say dinosaurs had chicken feathers, and they actually sounded more like...
No, so this is some cool shit. So I watched this. They actually, using 3D printing, they reconstructed a fossilized Tyrannosaurus... what do you call it? Larynx voice box? I don't remember technically what it, but like the throat. They reconstructed it based on fossilized evidence.
Oh, yeah.
And they made it to where you could blow air through it. It sounded like it did. It did not sound anything like Jurassic Park. It was this really high pitched. I apologize. No, but I don't buy it because I just don't feel like an animal that big would have such a high pitched sound coming out of it. Like it sounds like a rubber chicken by comparison.
I mean, you never know.
I mean, I say that and then... there's stranger things out there. Like, I didn't know sheep legitimately screamed. It sounds like somebody's being murdered.
It's hilarious, though.
Oh,
it's the funniest thing ever.
Whenever I'm in a shitty mood, I just pull up Screaming Sheep Farm, and I'm just...
The one sheep, I'm pretty sure... No, it was actually... I'm pretty sure maybe a lamb from... this is a long time ago, like maybe 15 years. And it said, Ma! Ma!
Yeah,
Ma! It's so funny. Anyway, so... Before we go and run you guys off,
so check out the merch store.
Check out our merch store. A merch store.
And by the way, ours will be here next week, so we should have them in time for the podcast.
And we will most likely be wearing them next week.
I will shamelessly wear that. I kind of designed it in such a way where like somebody might see you wearing it and they'll be like, "What the hell is that?"
Exactly. That's the point.
It's very loud.
It's like even if you don't even watch the podcast, it's a cool shirt.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And on top of that, the Arte Media shirt is sick, by the way.
I just kept building on it.
That was an excellent design. It looks awesome.
Dude, I'm jealous. Say, like, Teespring is our store's platform, and it's actually really cool. Their design, like, it's good, but it leaves a lot to be desired. Like, because it crashed, and when I was doing that shirt, it crashed on me like 4 times.
Are you drinking, Jason? My buddy.
I know. What'd he say?
He said, "What's up?" And then
laughed
because I said, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, you drinking tonight, buddy?
Oh yeah, he's
Drink
drinking.
one for me, man. All right, so Trump impeached
Just
for a
when you
second
think-
time in the House.
Just when you think he can't fuck it up more.
I mean, he's got 9 days. Well, I mean, at the time, he had 9 days left. What? I mean, what is he going to do? Is he going to press the nuke button?
He can't.
Exactly.
Actually.
You need...
Well, that and okay, so that
he can pardon people. That's about it.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're trying to get him to stop from doing, which I can see that.
Not their way of doing it. And the thing is, I mean, you can't just impeach the guy because those are his presidential powers. He's allowed to pardon.
Well, no, they're not. They're not impeaching him because he's pardoning people.
Oh, I know.
They wanna stop him
I'm
from-
saying like that's one of their.
Oh,
scare
they've
tactics.
got impeachable
He's going to
grounds.
impeach people.
No,
No, he's going to. He's going to pardon people.
Well, I mean, he's going to. Let's face it. Oh,
Yeah.
we got more. It's lively tonight.
Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer.
I can't read it tonight. I'm seeing double vision. Bruce Buffer time. What?
What?
I don't know.
Fuck it. Okay.
So yeah, so like I'm pretty sure it's just them, just being scared that he's gonna. I mean, like what you said.
That's exactly. Well, apart from the fact too that like, I mean, this go around, I'm in the camp of I think he pretty well deserves it.
Oh, he said he was laughing at the joke with the sheeps. Ah! It was a hell of a delay, and sometimes we don't see the.
This is a really stupid segue, but I promise it's worth it. So I used to have this kid that worked with me, or for me rather, and I don't remember what it was. Like my business partner and I, we were making fun of another kid, like not really making fun, like we were poking fun, insinuating that he liked to sleep with farm animals.
Oh.
But, like, okay, you had to be there because it wasn't that bad. It was just kind of, like, friendly banter. But anyway, it was, like, out of nowhere, this other kid, because, like, somebody said that somebody looked or sounded like an animal. So then we were like, oh, if I was a farm animal, I'd be, you know. And then out of nowhere, this kid just deadpan Dan Terry's like, if I were an animal, you know what I'd be? We're like, what? Thinking he was going to kid around. And then just dead face, like, dead serious, goes, raven. And then we're just kind of like, that's not funny. Like, what?
Ravens
You're
are
being
awesome.
serious. I know, but it's like it didn't fit with the context. But the funny part happened after my business partner just kind of looks at him weird, and he was like, "Yeah, but we know which ones you'd go after." No. And to this day, I'm just
Like the video, Jason.
"Jeez, that's fucking terrible."
Well, you that was a segue.
Yeah, that was the segue.
I'm just wearing the hat just to wear it.
And we're gonna need it tonight.
So, but anyway, so what we were. Anyway, so I don't really see Trump pardoning people as a huge threat per se, because
it depends somewhat on your perspective.
who is he going to pardon?
A lot of people.
Yeah, I know, but like he only has so much time, and
I know, but he can do it at the 11th hour. All he has to do is issue the pardon. Like,
Right.
and they're thinking, which I am kind of confused why he hasn't gone through and done it yet, unless they're. My only theory is that
I don't
they
think
could.
he's really worried about it.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about it, but I mean, they might try to bring him up on obstruction, but that's not how it works, because when you pardon someone, you're not obstructing. It's in your presidential power. So.
Exactly. Basically, what I'm getting at is I don't foresee him even really doing anything. Honestly, I don't even think he has anything planned. I think he's just riding out his last days.
I agree.
Because the thing is, granted, he's off Twitter, so it's been silent.
Well, not by choice.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I've got something for you because I just started listening to it, and it's amazing. It was Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, and the execs from Twitter.
Oh,
This was last
I've
year.
seen it. I've seen it.
Amazing. It did not age well at all.
No.
Tim Pool was correct on everything.
And he had them. He was on their ass. Oh, here we go.
Oh, it was shutting off on you.
That's another T-shirt. Auto shutdown enabled.
Oh my gosh.
Damn it!
Well, you know, the funny thing is I was thinking about getting another pair of those headphones, and I was like, nah.
I need to get a pair of these for myself because I eventually want to do some live stuff like this.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Well, they're only $100.
I know. So I'm like,
well,
where'd you get
It
them
might be
again?
cheaper, but I got it off Walmart.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you can probably find some on Amazon.
Oh, I know, but I really like these. These are very good.
They sound decent.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is just a smidget clearer
Yeah,
but it's like to have that.
Well, it's going to sound better than Jordan Peterson's live videos, where he's just sitting on his webcam. He's like,
Yeah.
And then sometimes when he gets really passionate, it
Oh,
starts to clip.
Did you see the Jim Jordan clip where he was it? I'm pretty sure he was talking about impeachment.
Probably.
And
he
basically, well, apparently Jim Jordan, I'm pretty sure he's still in Congress, isn't he? For now.
I believe so.
I don't know if he got. Anyway, so the video I was watching, he was talking about impeachment, and he got the other side like really riled up, and they're just like going on, and he just mic dropped him. It was good. I can't quote it for shit right now. My brain's dead weight. I'm trying to get my head straight.
Well,
I won't finish that line.
For what is what, it seems like they're not going to do anything with the 25th Amendment.
Mike Pence already said no.
Well, I know he did, but there are other
he's
avenues.
He's the only one that can use it. It says vice president on it.
Vice president and or the majority of the cabinet. But yeah, I mean that's not. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. Which I kind of.
Go ahead.
Well, and here's the thing. So you can't, and this is why it's kind of stupid, and this is probably why Pence isn't doing it, because it won't work.
Right.
Because what happened, well, it would kind of work, but it would take too much time. Because here's what's going to happen. Here's what would happen. Let's say Pence and the cabinet invoke the 25th Amendment saying that he is unfit. Well, there's a provision in there. I think it's in Section 2.
Don't you have to prove it?
Well, kind of. But so when they invoke it, the vice president assumes the powers and duties of the president immediately. However, the president, if he is able to, has 4 days to appeal the decision.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he does this, he gets the power back. And then it goes to the House, I believe, for a vote.
Oh, that's
But
not
that
good.
takes time. They have 21 days to do that.
Yeah,
so this is not a quick process.
And by that time, it'll be over.
Yeah, exactly. And by that time, it'll be over. Because there are things that Trump can do even to postpone the vote.
I don't know the legalities of it, but are they still able to, after inauguration of Joe Biden, I think it's pretty much done and over with. There's nothing they can do anymore because he's not a sitting president at the time. So
they can't impeach him, but he can certainly be brought up on criminal charges if any are applicable.
Actually, I think what they were worried about was
he might pardon himself.
Yes, but the only thing is that's only federally, not statewide.
Correct, and in order to be pardoned, you have to be convicted, and you have to be not convicted. You have to at least have been indicted.
Are you sure it's not it's not indicted, or is it alleged crimes?
Well, that's an indictment. You're alleged to have committed this crime,
right?
And, yeah.
He could be like, I pardon myself for all future endeavors,
for everything that I did.
I'm never going to jail. Fucking 73. Who's he gonna hurt?
It doesn't fucking plenty, but I mean, it's not gonna work.
All I'm saying is, he's at the end of the day. I'm not trying to take up for him, but he's a businessman. He's not really. He's not. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think he's hurting anybody, but that's my personal opinion. You know, if
not directly, and this is why it's
definitely not like tax hikes and shit like that. And
well, but I'm not saying this is true, but there's a case that could be made that his actions and or inactions caused people to be harmed. But then at that point, then you're getting into a real.
Oh, it's touchy any which way you go, but.
Well, but it's unclear, because like for example, his speech before the riot
did not help him at all.
Well, but here's the thing. It's not as bad as they're making it sound. The speech before the riot. So when he was addressing the crowd in front of the White House, and he was telling them to march, and they were already planning to march to the Capitol, so he wasn't fanning the flames, but he was telling them to march, and I believe he exactly said, protest peacefully. And he used words like, we have to fight, because if you stop, but he didn't, like, I don't think anyone listening to that conversation of sound mind without an incredible bias would assume that he literally meant fight.
I mean, if you want to get technical, the Beastie Boys said you had to fight for your right to party. So
exactly.
Are you beating people up to party?
Well, but here's the thing. So there's a channel on YouTube, I think I mentioned it before, it's called Legal Eagles. and it's actually and I think he's I know he can practice constitutional law, but it's this lawyer that can practice law in like 6 states, and he goes through, and sometimes he'll do like, okay, so this is something that happened, here's kind of like a lawyer's perspective, and then sometimes he'll do more fun stuff.
Right.
But he was talking in this one, and I will say this dude is definitely left leaning, but I was kind of surprised because he followed the letter of the law. And there was one video he did where he was talking about, he's like, well, is Donald Trump guilty of incitement? He's like, well, it depends on whether or not, if you're talking about criminal incitement or, like, I guess cultural incitement. Legally speaking, he's not guilty of incitement, or at least it's unclear. It's probably not clear enough. He said if he were to be brought up on charges, they would likely be thrown out, because if you remember, Donald Trump was sued for inciting a riot in 2016, and he was acquitted.
Which riot? I don't remember that.
Well, okay, so a legal definition of a riot is 5 or more people
Okay, we're good.
causing or being, at least being able to cause bodily harm to others. So riot is, it's not necessarily like hundreds of people. It could be 5.
Right.
So what happened, and I watched the clip because he played the clip, and you might remember this. It was at the riot where there were some Democratic protesters, and he basically said, I believe the exact words were, "Get him out of here, don't hurt him."
Well, I
and
mean,
that "don't hurt him" kind of saved his ass.
That's not really
right. That's not incitement.
though.
Certainly not in the criminal sense. Now,
so that's what they tried to go after him for?
in 2016, yes.
And they said, get him out of here.
Well, because some of the people in the crowd, some of the Trump supporters, I think one guy broke some dude's ribs and they assaulted some people. But you can't sue Trump for that.
That's the thing that's killing me right now. I'm like, you guys, if he says specifically, go out and hurt people.
Yes, that is incitement.
But if he says you have to fight for your rights,
that's
because he believes that Biden
and
the new administration is going to take him away. Nothing's going to change.
Well, but the Democrats use verbiage like that all the time. Fight for 15.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not literally telling people to go into the street and punch people. Now, Maxine Waters, on the other hand,
she did say go out and
harass people.
She said it a different way, though. She didn't say harass.
If you see a Republican senator or congressman, like, go up and give them hell.
Yeah, and it's like, because the thing is, that that's not. I wouldn't say that's necessarily direct. But the thing is, it's going to.
I don't know. That. I mean, that's pretty direct. That's a pretty declarative statement.
Yeah, but she's still.
I know, and nobody brought her up on incitement charges, which I'm like, me through this whole thing. I don't think Donald Trump certainly did not put a good foot forward, and that whole shit show was despicable. But.
He didn't say anything damning. That's the problem.
I more take issue with what he didn't say rather than what he said.
But the thing is, though, it's like he's got so many days left. He's got these idiots out there saying America, and they go into the Capitol building and do that shit. But some of them were even let in, and it's on video. And I'm like, really? Yeah, why are you guys letting people in?
Well, and here was the other
setup.
Here was the other crazy thing.
Because they knew they were dumb.
I remember when I was watching it live on CNN, initially at one point they said that some of the protesters had been let in, and then the language changed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, media there for you.
Well, I think it got more violent. I think what they were doing is they started trying to let small groups of people in, and in a protesting capacity, which, frankly, if COVID's as bad as they say it is, they shouldn't have let anyone in. Because normally you are allowed to protest when Congress is in session, but there's a designated area up above, and like you can even there are times when you're allowed to be loud and ruckus, but when they're actually doing things, you're asked to be quiet or you can be removed because they have to be able to hear what's going on. Right. It's not silencing free speech. They got to be able to hear.
Yeah, but I had a thought earlier, and Tim Pool said it. Or maybe someone else. I don't know. I've watched so much stuff today and yesterday. It was insane. I don't know. What do you got? Maybe it'll come back to me.
Yeah, probably. I mean...
Probably not.
My issue with Trump is that when that was happening, he didn't come out and clearly say stop.
Yeah. Well, he did.
No,
After it happened, he said.
But he didn't even really say
He told him to
stop.
go home.
Oh yeah, he did.
He told him to go home and go home peacefully. Did he say it like that? Or
something, but he did use the words "go home," but it was already over.
Because then he did say, he goes, "We are the party of law and order," and
that was a different tweet, but he did say that.
Well, no, it was. What was it in the video? I believe it was in the video.
Maybe after the fact. I'm
not sure.
I can't remember. I know he did say we're the party of law and order, and he did say go home, but those were two different tweets. And the go home was pretty much after it was already done.
Because Biden was having like a live something going on, and he was talking about Trump needs to come out and say this.
Well, and
before his segment ended, Trump posted. They posted that video.
And
I was like, yeah, Biden. Okay, man.
It was just late, Like, I'm sorry, it's 2021.
Him in his office as president-elect.
Like, he's got a fucking cell phone. Like, put that shit on the internet. As Johnny Lawrence would say, send it to the internet.
The only problem with Trump, though, is he can't get on the internet. I mean, he can get on the internet. He can't post anything.
He could at the time. They didn't ban him for a couple of days.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I still think that's about the dumbest thing ever. And no, this is okay. Now I remember where I'm going.
Well, the main problem is, while I agree with the sentiment, it's now set a precedent.
I don't. It's banning of free speech.
Yeah, but it's a public company. It's not. The first
Hold on, that's the thing. That's the thing that's bullshit. Because the thing is, if they're going to be a bipartisan, segment or a bipartisan forum,
they're not required to be, though.
No. But the thing is, though, if they're going to this is what I was talking about in the Twitter execs video with Tim Pool and Joe Rogan. They were talking about the difference between misgendering conservative versus liberal stance, because they have two different ideologies.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they just towards that, they lean towards the left.
Yeah.
Just because of that. Obviously, everyone knows Twitter leans to the left.
Pretty much every tech company has is at least somewhat left-leaning.
They get more money from them.
Well, I mean, it's just that kind of person tends to be drawn towards that.
So, basically, what I'm getting at is they lean more left in that aspect. So, the thing is, if a conservative gets on there, people can say hateful shit all to them all they want. And they won't take it down. Tim Pool has been threatened. They've put his personal address on there. They've done all kinds of shit.
Doxing is not cool in any
doxing
way, shape, or form.
is immediate. I don't think expulsion on there, but it's obviously
apparently
bad.
Not, because people do it all the time.
If someone does that to someone, like if someone doxes, like a trans,
well, they dox the
kicked off.
They dox the kid, the
Covington kids.
Yeah.
Yes, and the thing is, that shit wasn't taken down until
who the hell doxes a 16-year-old?
A minor. And they didn't take it down. Tim Pool brought that up too.
Yeah, I remember.
He was just like, okay, and it just cracks
me
up.
I was so happy when he won that.
Yeah,
lawsuit.
but then you see her, the exec. Is she the CEO or something?
No,
Jack Dorsey. What is he? He doesn't even own Twitter anymore. He just he kind of runs it still.
I don't know what she was. I don't remember her.
Whatever her name is, everybody should know who she is. But the thing is, when she was talking to Joe or Tim, she's like, "Well, we can definitely look into that, and I can follow up with you." And it's like, "Shut up, you talking head."
If you've ever dealt with anything closely resembling corporate, like
that's how it is. I know, but
anyone who's ever dealt with that just rolls their eyes and like that's the most polite.
That's when I'd be like, "Hey." Right to their face, like, can we hang up? I'd like to call back and talk to a real person.
Can I speak to your manager?
The one who's not a robot. She literally is a talking head, and it was disgusting the way she talked.
Yeah,
and
it was so just disingenuous.
I feel like Jack Dorsey. I don't feel like he's a bad guy, but I feel like he sold his soul. And
fuck, I'll sell my soul for that much money.
He understands it
in a heartbeat.
No, I'm good. I'll gladly live poor. I couldn't do it.
Oh, dude, because I can buy like 10 souls for that kind of money.
I can buy whatever I want.
And like seriously, put a nobody uses Craigslist anymore. It was to say, put an
Oh
ad
my
on
gosh.
Craigslist, be like, I want someone's soul. Someone will respond to that shit and be like, how much?
Yeah, right. And
You
you're
know?
like, well, your soul comes with your spine.
And they're like, you all got some crack?
Oh my gosh. So I don't know. I don't think the impeachment's going to go anywhere. I think
I think it will.
I think it's going to be a dud in the water.
I think it will,
My
and
prediction,
I think it should.
it's not going anywhere. Your prediction, well, not your prediction, but your opinion, you think it should go somewhere?
Oh, I think it
What do you think
definitely
they should do?
I think they should impeach him.
What for? On what grounds?
On the grounds that he basically just ignored his responsibility as the president of the United States.
How?
Because a riot was incited in his name, and not only did he immediately not disavow it, but he also didn't immediately say this needs to stop. Other Republican congressmen and senators disavowed it within an hour.
How long did it take for him to get that video out? I can't remember.
I might be wrong by an hour. It was either... So the riot, I think, officially started at about 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
And that video came out at either 4:17 or I believe it was 5:17. So about 4 hours, give or take.
So do you think that it would be a wise decision for them to double check and make sure it's smart for the president to be safe before they even let him do anything?
He had already been safe, though.
Well, I know he's got security, but like the thing is, if they actually impeach him,
I wouldn't be too worried about Donald Trump when the riot in question is waving Trump flags.
Well,
and
it's not
trying
that,
to
though.
replace the American flag on the Capitol building with a Trump flag.
Might need this. Some people are trying to say, and I don't know if it's true because there are a bunch of, on both sides. There's a bunch of people who just follow, and they are violent.
There's good people on both sides.
Yeah, another thing taken completely out of context. And you don't have to be you don't have to be anything Trump supporter or whatever.
Well, and I will go to bat for Trump for that because on numerous occasions, like, will you disavow white supremacists? Yes,
he said it 3 times in the
multiple
debates.
times on television.
And he said, "Yeah, sure." And then it's like, "Well, do you?" And he's just like,
"I just said it."
And yeah, he seemed confused.
Speaking of which, did you see any Proud Boys there at the riots? I didn't.
Actually, I think I don't know if he was at the riots but I believe one of them was shot or hurt or killed. Arrested?
The chairman, but he wasn't even at the protest. When he arrived in Washington, D.C., he was detained.
Oh, and there was people being doxxed by the left who are Trump supporters, but they weren't even at the riot.
Yeah.
And they said they were there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's why I'm wearing this, is because they're saying that Antifa... Because you know how hard it is.
Antifa?
How hard is it to dress up like a Trump supporter?
I don't know that.
Listen,
well, maybe
if you have anyone, if you have a mob of people, tensions are high, emotions are high, adrenaline's running. You do one thing, you can sway a whole group of people and make them look like idiots.
Yep. Well, it's like Joe Rogan said.
Hard.
If you get 1,000 people together, there's 100 of them are assholes that will.
Turn that entire group into 1,000 assholes. I haven't heard that.
So now it's my turn. So this one, this is the big one, and this is honestly, this has been bugging me, and I really hope I'm wrong, but it probably means I'm not. So this all just seems too damn perfect. If I'm the left, so like you've seen Star Wars, right? The prequel. This is some Emperor Palpatine shit.
Telling you.
Well, I mean, think about it. So, you've got Donald Trump, who is basically the perfect enemy for the left because they built him up to be from day one, even on the campaign trail. So much so that Hillary even said, like, this is documented, by the way. WikiLeaks released the emails, basically saying, like, throw support to the media, throw coverage to Donald Trump where you can because I want to go up against him. Like, this is documented. And that's exactly what they did. So then Donald Trump wins, which they were not expecting. Or maybe they were. Well, you got to remember, Donald Trump was a Democrat for almost his entire life and a huge Democrat donor.
I think it was like 92 to 97. Well, like 1984, because they've got it. I don't know. It's wiki. So I don't know exactly how true it is. but it has listed years to years of what he was for a while, and I don't think he was ever independent, but
Maybe, but he was certainly a large Democrat donor for a very long time.
oh yeah,
And
because
then switched to now.
rub
Maybe,
my back, I'll rub yours.
maybe he had a change of beliefs, but let's. I'm wearing the hat, so we're gonna take this to Crazy Town. That may not be Crazy Town. So Donald Trump gets in, and the left, like, maybe this was just a but this is giving way too much credit to them, because if this is true, God, they would be so smart, and they're just not. But I mean, like, think about it. It's perfect because of Donald Trump, or rather, like, after Donald Trump, the Democrats managed to get the White House, maintain majority in the House of Representatives, and get a majority in the Senate. That almost never, it's happened before, but I mean, it's almost never happened.
It's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true.
For them.
And then at the tail end of the presidency, they have like, and what I really think this is literally like the most aggressive of the aggressive Trump supporters are literally so stupid that they are going to allow the Democrats to take the rights away from them that they claim they wanted to defend so badly. And it's through their own stupidity and not thinking before they act. Or, like you said, maybe it was just a bunch of Antifa people that wanted to make it look like a Trump riot, and now they can be like there's even talk of, it seems very likely that they're going to push through some pretty fast and loose gun control legislation, and it's like, really? Because I didn't see a bunch of motherfuckers shooting up the Capitol. Like, there were guns there, but
No, not at all, because Capitol Police did most of the shooting.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
they killed that one girl, which I don't even know if she was armed. She was ex-military.
Yeah, well,
and then someone else died. A Capitol police officer was killed. He was hit over the head with a fire extinguisher. And then I don't know, dude. It's just crazy.
I don't know. I'm just looking at this. I'm like, man, if this was...
I love how they call them domestic terrorists, which where they're at, I understand the...
Yeah, but why not Antifa?
Well, I mean...
Because that wasn't an organization.
They literally said... Yeah, I mean, Trump supporters aren't an organization.
No, they're not a defined organization.
So that's not terrorism.
Well, no, I mean, it could be considered, but if...
I'm sorry. That's... No, I was getting on the
So,
wrong
but
thing.
this is actually great, because I was going to ask you to help me film something, but this is perfect. We can do this exercise, and then somehow I can get this. So, this is a perfect opportunity to exercise a variation of the Socratic method using this. So, and these are rhetorical questions, but are the Trump supporters domestic terrorists in your opinion?
No.
Okay, change your answer. Just so this works.
Possibly.
Well, okay, I'll rephrase.
You mean like that?
I'll rephrase this. I'll rephrase it. If the Trump supporters are domestic terrorists, then why aren't Antifa protesters, who arguably did some worse shit,
Yeah,
but at less worse places?
That's that.
But why?
I don't think that should matter.
Why are the Trump supporters domestic terrorists, but Antifa are not domestic terrorists?
That's a tough one to answer, because I mean that's what I'm saying.
Work. We'll still have to.
No, but what I get what you're saying though, but it makes no sense, because it's like you have two different factions, and they're doing somewhat of the same shit.
I know the answer to the question, but I don't like it. It's because Antifa fits the narrative of the left.
Exactly, and that's who's in charge.
Yep.
And people don't want to admit that. And
now here's the thing. I do believe that you could. It's tricky though, because I think you can't really label them domestic terrorists, but they are guilty of domestic terrorism. If that makes sense, in that particular aspect.
You can't bunch them all together, though. You got, but
I'm talking about the people that broke in.
A terrorist group. Well, the thing is, though, like...
Well, you don't have to be part of a terrorist group to be guilty of terrorism.
Now, the thing is, though, I literally watched a video Capitol police officer. Now, don't get me wrong. There was someone literally beating on the door trying to get it open, and the guy had his gun raised.
Yep.
And he shot them.
Yep.
But according to the BLM riots and whatnot, like anyone who was shot like that, like Kyle Rittenhouse, he had someone trying to kill him.
Yep.
But he's in jail, or he just I think he's out now. But
I was gonna say I thought
he was bailed out. He's still not off charges. So I mean, should they hold that cop to? I mean, I don't care if he's a cop, because the left doesn't care if they're cops.
I care if he's a cop.
I understand that, but the left doesn't care if they're cops. Like if a cop shoots someone,
judging by their past arguments, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it depends on whether it's a left or right situation, and that's wrong.
Well, because you do have to kind of chuckle at the irony of, like, you still want to defund the police.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Washington, D.C. was denied help
6 times.
6 times. But the thing is, and also, Nancy Pelosi literally tried to go around and she tried to, what was the term? A coup? For the to basically take Trump out of charge right now, bypass everything, and literally, I think it was through something to do with the military. I'd have to look up the direct.
Well, she wouldn't have authority to do that.
She asked for it, and they said, "Ma'am, you realize what you're doing is illegal."
Yeah, well, I'm sure she asked for it, but
but the thing is, though, it's like
joke's on you. Trump's the commander in chief.
Exactly. So basically,
but even
she
he
was trying
can't
to
do
say
whatever he wants as far as the military goes.
So, but the thing is, though, her doing that, isn't that like somewhat? I don't know how you remove like a speaker, but oh my gosh, we need to freak out on that because that's going around the law and the Constitution. I mean, if someone's going to go outside of the Constitution and try to oversee their power.
You mean kind of like how Trump did, trying to stop the vote, the electoral vote?
Well, what'd he do?
He literally tried to stop it.
He used his constitutional powers, though, because the thing is, he's afforded, what is it that I'm trying to say? He's afforded, to question it.
Yeah, but then
the thing is, if he throws up legitimate claims.
Yeah, but then there was the Florida call.
What? I don't know what's that.
Oh, who did he call? Shit, I don't remember. It was a politician in Florida, and he's basically he's on tape. He's like, I need you to come up with X number of votes so I can win. Not Florida, Georgia, not Florida.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
That's going around the Constitution. Well,
yeah, but what does that mean though? Hey,
voter fraud.
Your constituents.
It's a violation of the 15th Amendment.
Right, but I mean they're all doing that shit right now.
Well, I know, but again, my point is, and neither side should get away with it.
Neither side should get away with nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
We're way too lenient.
You have to hold both sides accountable for when they do this. The problem is, if you're on the left, you're giving your people a pass, but the right's doing the same thing.
Right.
And they're both doing it to the same degree. And I'm over here watching this. I'm like, I don't want to hear a lecture from Pelosi about following the rule of law because,
no.
I don't want to hear it, and I definitely don't want to hear it from Trump because he uses it when it's convenient for him.
Absolutely, I agree on that.
And they're all doing that, and that's my big beef.
Well, and on top of that, idiots like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and
who I want
to say Rashida Tlaib, maybe.
Yeah, I think she said
they called for the immediate resignation of Senator Hawley and I want to say Cruz.
Well, you can call for all
because
you want.
I know, but they're trying to basically kick them out of Congress, and I'm like, okay, because they literally said, can we stop this bullshit and come together? He said Trump's leaving.
Yeah.
They didn't say that, but I'm just paraphrasing.
They did their little symbolic protest of the electoral vote, which they can do, though.
Is their constitution right?
Yes, and in my opinion, waste of time, but it's not my decision.
Doesn't matter. Exactly.
I mean, they have an allotted amount of time for debate, and they used it. So, right. I mean, that's fine. I have zero issue with that. I think, speaking of which, goddamn, you would think that the beard would help Ted Cruz not look like a giant penis. But now
I don't have a problem with Cruz. I like him.
I don't like that whiny sounding motherfucker.
I don't know about his past before
I don't even know
before he ran for president and then
like
Trump.
there's not even, I can't even explain why I don't like him. I just look at him like, God, you dick.
I've listened to some of his little tidbits, man, and he goes in on people, and I like it because the thing is, and it's not necessarily that he's like going in on somebody like, rah, rah, just name calling.
Yeah, but he kind of looks like Pee Wee Herman.
Hey,
like,
Pee Wee Herman's dropping facts on these people.
Well, no, he looks like Pee Wee Herman who just said fuck it and started eating McDonald's every day.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with McDonald's. Double cheeseburger is still good.
Stuff that makes you fire up.
A fucking double cheeseburger, if you literally just set it out in a room temperature room, will last for like a year.
You'll die before that cheeseburger will.
Isn't that crazy? And
yeah.
they taste so good.
I know.
I'm pretty sure they put crack in it. But
Probably used to.
So obviously, it's hypocrites everywhere.
Well, but shit, we've been
riots here, freaking people,
I've been saying so, but this whole thing, if we take one thing away from this, and I hope if we can take one thing away from this, it's that both sides have gotten out of fucking control.
You think?
Because nobody can.
They're both fucking whiners.
And I was giving the Republicans due, and I was like, at least they're not breaking shit. And then they broke shit.
Well,
so I saw that and I just threw my hands up and I'm like, well, okay.
Prediction. I say after Biden's inaugurated, I say within a month, maybe 2 months, stuff is going to come out. And I'm telling you, I know there are idiot supporters of both sides.
Yeah.
But I feel like there is going to be some either Antifa or something else that was in that.
Oh,
in the riots and incited. But the thing is, at the same time, though, just because people are jumping off the cliff doesn't mean you jump off the cliff too.
Well, but there is something. There is a psychological phenomenon for groupthink. I mean, that's real. And again, it doesn't give you a pass, but it exists. But you know what? Honestly, if I'm Trump, you know who I'm pardoning? Edward Snowden and Julian Assange.
The only problem with Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, these WikiLeaks, right?
Yeah.
The only two problems with those two people, which I like what they do, don't get me wrong, it's not legal.
What do you mean it's not legal?
They were leaking they were for the most part they were leaking stuff that they didn't have the rights to, and the thing is whether it was how it was obtained was illegally.
Well,
from my collective knowledge.
So, but you're right. In some cases,
don't get me wrong, I'm for it.
In some cases with WikiLeaks, but
I like what they do.
WikiLeaks never got the information directly. It was always given to them by journalists.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, okay. So then I changed my stance.
Well,
Julian Assange
for WikiLeaks, now
Edward Snowden literally was like, I work for this company.
This is
confidential.
But here's the other thing: he leaked it to the press.
But the thing is, though, what he leaked was very important.
Yes, but they did not share all of it. They did not disclose all of it.
Well, because they couldn't a lot of it. But the thing is, he basically came out and said, "Yeah, the government's spying. They're spying on all of you."
Right, but the government was illegally spying.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and
I mean, when you say spying, illegal is like implied.
Yeah, well, and in the case of Snowden, I mean, it's debatable, but the other thing we have to remember is that Snowden tried, I think, 2 or 3 times to basically report it internally, and they basically told him to fuck off.
Have you seen The Punisher?
The series?
Yeah, on Netflix with John Bernthal.
I started it, but I didn't get very far.
Oh gosh, okay.
I know. I hear it's very good.
I think it's in the is it in the first season? Yeah. Okay, in the first season, they have a guy. He's a tech guy. He works for a government facility. He gets a hold of a tape, and it's basically showing, at the beginning where they're all in there, and John Bernthal shoots the guy in the head, tied up. Anyway, so the guy gets tech guy gets a hold of this video. He wants to take it to his uppers, and I can't remember if he did or not. But the thing is, he wanted to go around them. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is it's kind of the same situation for Snowden with that guy, So it's
So, but
That's kind of eerily similar.
But then here's well, it was probably modeled after it. But here's another one. While we're talking about fictional situations,
But he went underground because he was shot at and almost died. Anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, but here's one that'll make your head spin. Think about this. So let's say we're in Gotham City.
Okay.
Do what?
None.
So let's say we're in Gotham City, and let's say that a rookie cop sees and takes video evidence of Batman assaulting a criminal for interrogation. This is illegal on multiple grounds. Now, by doing this, though, he gets information on the biggest human trafficker in, let's say, U.S. history. This rookie cop takes this shit to his superiors.
The lesser of two evils.
Right, but that's not how the law works.
No.
But
Sometimes,
I can see, but I see that point.
I get where you're going.
But I see that point.
Sometimes you have to go around.
Well, right, but should he go around in this case? Which one is more important? And Snowden had to make that same decision. Which one's more important, the letter of the law or the intent of breaking the law?
I'm just saying, like, how would that be, favorable to Trump? Because honestly, it's
I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about Snowden. But
I know, but I'm saying him. Like Trump would have to be the one to pardon him
because if
Biden is not going to pardon him.
Because if anybody's going to break that news and vindicate Trump, it's going to be probably Julian Assange.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Because
that's why I would pardon him. Because if evidence
could help him out completely. The thing is,
it's not even about helping him. It's well, I mean, he could be helped.
That would be the point for him.
It's about the truth.
Well, and like you said earlier about Trump, it only goes for him when he wants it, or
right,
whatever you said.
He's very opportunistic
in
using the
so
letter
the thing
of the
is, law. if he were to use him, but the thing is, what I would like to know is if he actually did, pardon those two. And they go to work and, find out if they find out that, election fraud did happen. Do they overturn an election? I wonder how that would work.
That's a good question. I don't think
there's anything you can do after he's inaugurated.
No. In this case, no, because he's officially been, and the electoral votes were officially
counted. Right. But the thing is, though,
it pretty much ruins
those electoral votes.
It pretty much ruins. Yeah, but it pretty much ruins his chances of being elected again.
Right.
And that's an impeachable offense if ever there was one, in my opinion.
For them,
like if a sitting president was found red-handed of engaging in election fraud, a violation of the Constitution, I think you're almost required to impeach him. You could certainly remove him.
It'd be all blue forms in all houses.
You could certainly remove him. You could certainly make an attempt to remove him from office, and then Harris is next. Because she was part of the same election fraud.
Yeah, because there's no way she doesn't know.
Yeah, but then it goes to Speaker of the House, so fuck.
Yeah, but then, she's doing some shady shit on her own.
That's what I mean, man. They stacked the deck. He stacked the deck.
And on top of that, so once Biden gets in there, they're gonna pack the Supreme Court with a bunch of blue.
that's coming.
It's over, dude.
That's coming.
It's over for you Republicans. You didn't stand up when you needed to. You cowered.
Exactly.
You sat down and you sat on your hands like you've always done. And this is why
I keep saying
this is your downfall.
Keep saying,
go on.
And I gave Trump credit. I was like, wow, he got the Republicans to stop shooting themselves in the face.
And then they did the biggest one of all.
And then, holy shit, they pulled out a bazooka and put it in their mouth.
They hung themselves.
After shooting themselves repeatedly. Like, they shot themselves in the foot.
And then they drowned.
No, they literally, this is what they did. They shot themselves, they had their guns at the Democrats, and then they sneezed and shot themselves in the foot. and then they went, fuck, that hurt. And they tilted the gun down and shot themselves in the dick. And then they went, oh! And then they tilted it up and shot themselves in the mouth. And then they hung themselves.
After they shot themselves in the mouth, that is a feat. It's insane.
It's the political equivalent of tripping over the doorstep, falling out of your pants, and falling into a woman and getting her pregnant.
That's talent.
That's
Mr. Bean talent. That is Mr. Bean talent. That was a very good reference.
That's solid.
That one came out really well.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Literally, there is one glimmer of hope, and that's that the Democrats, if the Republicans are good at shooting themselves in the foot, Democrats are really good about getting a big head and then fucking up because they think it's in the bag.
That's true. Well, the thing that kills me the most is how insanely quick they were to come up with this legislation, to come up with this impeachment so fast, but yet it took both these retards 9 months to get any stimulus refund or any stimulus relief passed.
Well, yeah,
and they had ones in the past, and even Nancy Pelosi was on record saying, "I'm not signing it because," and then she said, "What was it?" She said, "Joe Biden's going to be the president, so blah blah blah. We'll take this one." When they could have already got a better one, that was like what 1.4, 1.6 trillion.
Yeah, well, I called that too.
And Joe Biden, they've already said as soon as their first order of business is to send out $2,000 checks. They're raising it from 600, not to 2,000.
Then the Republicans tried to raise it, and the Democrats blocked it. Like literally, that's what happened.
Because, and the thing is, it's like, why wouldn't Democrats not want to repeal Section 230? Because it's favoring them now.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're not seeing this. They're not playing the long game. You know, it's like
nobody's playing.
Nobody is, and I'm like,
because if Republicans had been playing the long game, they would have bailed off the Trump train and been like, "Look, we are not with this."
I'll tell you what, dude. Libertarians need to stop being so damn
against
quiet.
themselves.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, they're just like, meh, whatever happens, happens.
Like the memes are funny.
They
but
have
we really need
good
to stop.
intentions and they have great ideas. Get some fucking spines. Yeah, I'm not saying they're spineless. That's the wrong term. What I'm trying to say is like, get in
loud.
there, get
start
to work,
getting loud.
Yeah, but the thing is,
start getting in there and being like, listen, this is the shit we said was gonna happen.
Be like, listen, give me that spending bill. Yeah, no. Let's
see, do we need $20,000 a month for a conservation website for a tortoise that's no longer on the endangered species?
Or
that's real, by the way.
Or another one. We spend what was it? I want to say $3 or $12 million on wood blown glass for a meeting when you could just get the little plastic, nice. You can even get like cheap little glass wine glasses. They spent $12 million. I think 12. Someone fact check me, but it was a lot of money on wine glasses. Spending is our issue.
Is Cristal even that expensive?
I don't know.
I don't think it's not $12 million. Like, you can still get some nice shit.
I buy my dishes from Walmart.
Hell yeah.
Coral.
Dishwasher safe, motherfucker.
Coral. 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 Oh my gosh.
So this is hilarious. I watched that episode.
Actually, I have some really nice ones.
I watched that episode live.
Japanese.
I watched that episode live, and I even said it was like coral. And then, like, 2 days later, there's memes going everywhere, and I'm like, I knew that was going to be a thing.
Oh, no, coral!
Like, I'm sorry, it took me out of it, because I was right there, and he's like, coral, and I'm like, oh my god.
I was like, mildly like, dude just shot his mom. Holy shit. Coral! I couldn't stop
all
giggling.
The memes where...
oh my gosh, man, where his face is, like,
joke.
going like this, coral, in his face. I don't know how to explain it. It's like tracers or something. It's insanely funny. But, so, alright, where were we? You got something?
Oh, I've just got general notes.
Okay.
Okay, so the other reason I really want Trump impeached, and this is really stupid and selfish, but, like, it would be the first time in history that somebody's been impeached twice. They don't even have to win. I just want him to actually get impeached.
Okay, alright.
So I can be like, yeah, I lived through that.
The only thing that I have the biggest problem with this impeachment, it's like, at the time, there was 9 days left. Now it's, what, 7?
Well, but at this point, it's largely symbolic. But
yes,
I think it needs to be.
All it is.
But I think it needs to be.
But there's no meat behind it. And the thing is, it's so divisive, it's unfun. It's not even funny. Like, literally, like, for these last few days, they could be, like, working on, like, relief for something else or doing something else, like, making sure, like, vaccines are getting sent out properly.
It benefits the Republicans for him to get impeached, though, and for them to vote along with it.
Yes and no, because 73 million voted for Trump, and those are registered voters who voted for Republicans just because of Trump.
That was before the Capitol riots, though.
But the thing is, though, like, You're not going to throw away the whole
then,
bushel with a couple bad apples.
Well, but here's the thing, though, and I don't think that's what would happen.
I'm talking the people at the Capitol, because there wasn't, like, there was literally only a couple hundred people at this at that riot. Not rally. Well, they said 10,000, but the thing is, somebody there was people that were there, and there's like, where are people getting 10,000 people? There was like, at most it was 300.
I think there were 10,000 protesters.
Right, but inside the building, I don't think there was.
No, there wasn't 10,000.
There was probably maybe like what, 30 or 50.
I don't even think you can fit 10,000 people in there.
No, so it's like if there were 10,000, if there were 10,000 people in there, that place would have been demolished, and people probably would have died.
Well,
more.
Did
I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, I did say, and like I shouldn't laugh at this because it's not funny, but there was one scene that the news kept looping, and it was just so damn funny.
What?
I guess like
was it the freaking the guy with the horns?
No. This was
that shit was amazing. I was like, red, white, and blue.
This is when they had the cops at the guardrail, and it was actually getting pretty violent. I guess some dude got lippy or like took a swing at a cop. You didn't see that, but the cop he had one of the smaller like riot shields. It was only about this big. He just took that motherfucker and just chucked it at a bitch. Knocked him the fuck out. And then when he's down, he's just like
pointing at her.
Him. I'm sorry. Like when I say knocked him down like a bitch, I mean like.
Oh no. I mean, what is he? Was he hitting him with it?
No, he literally threw it at the guy's face.
And then pointing at him.
Yeah, he threw it at the dude's face. The dude goes down, and then he's just like.
You see? I told you. I threw it, and I hit you good.
Not to quote Scrubs would be like, you see what you get when you mess with the warrior?
Oh my gosh, that reminded me of something. I don't know. My brain's not working today.
No, but I think the Republicans need to go along with it, if nothing else for to be symbolically involved, because the Republican Party is at a crossroads right now. And it's unfortunate because they kind of did it to themselves, but not really.
We thought it was going to be, I don't know about you, but I thought it was going to be reverse.
Yeah, I know. I thought, well, and it still
Democrat.
might. It still might. Because, again, remember how I said the Democrats are really good about getting their heads too big confident. And then they fuck it up?
Mm-hmm.
I still think if Biden's going to, if they're not going to lose both houses of Congress in 2 years, they still need to shut the squad up.
You know, they still have not certified the. I don't believe they have certified the.
No, but the runoffs.
The senators in Georgia.
Yeah, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's done.
But the thing is, though, they still haven't certified it. You know,
yeah,
the thing is,
but
a lawsuit could pop up or something like that. Investigation.
I mean, that is something I hope doesn't stick, but I don't see it getting changed.
I'm surprised. There was several other avenues that they did not go down, like Trump and all them. And I'm like, you guys, like, you sat on your asses for too long, and it's like, if you really. And there was evidence of voter fraud, but there was not ample evidence.
Well, but again, whether or not there was actual voter fraud or not, the point still stands. The only reason, and I still maintain this, the only reason the Democrats won as much as they did, or even at all, is because of the extended mail-in voting in those states.
Yeah, and I think that needs to be addressed, and they need to say, all right, mail-in voting happens way earlier, and it has to be in by like a week before,
and it has to be requested.
Well, yeah, it should not be sent. Like, we have absentee ballots. You don't need mail-in ballots. You have absentee.
It's literally same thing. But I mean, my whole thing is I was saying the same thing.
No, there's a difference between mail-in and absentee.
Well, I know, but I don't have a problem with mail-in ballots. I have a problem with unsolicited mail-in ballots. And I was thinking when they were sending
them out by the hundreds.
Like, yeah, and that was my whole thing. It's like, why do you need to do this? There's already like, if you. And I love their thing is, well, some people may not know how to do it. It's like, they got a website. Like, at a certain point, how helpless are you? If you're that helpless, you shouldn't be voting.
My wife was in, was it not Colorado? Yeah, I think Colorado. Anyway, she was in college, and she was voting in Indiana. She had to do an absentee ballot.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It worked.
Yeah.
She got one.
Funny thing.
And it's crazy. She requested it and got it, filled it out, and sent it back.
And she did it on time, so it got counted, right?
Huh. So.
Funny how
that's
works.
Exactly what should happen. And, you know, they had all kinds of, not all kinds, but they had several United States Postal Service workers saying that they were told to backdate stuff that was sent in.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Because
that
they
right
knew.
there. So, in the next 4 years, when COVID is no longer a thing because the Democrats are in charge, don't get me wrong, it's real. Don't anyone out there, we believe it's real. But the thing is,
I
you
posted
just
a video
you just
about
wait.
that.
I'm surprised you did that.
What?
Posted.
Oh, I called that shit.
But yeah. Okay,
I called that shit on this very podcast, and then
so when they
for those of
backtrack
you who don't know, I posted a video on my channel. I believe it was the day after the riot. I realized, I was like, huh, the little COVID death counter disappeared, didn't it? Just like I said it would. The day after the electoral votes officially got, like, damn, to the day. I figured they'd at least give it a week or two.
Nope.
I figured it would at least wait till after inauguration. Now, they still throw it up there if they're doing a story about COVID, but you know what I'm talking about. It was the thing that was up on this part of the screen. I'm in reverse here, so I got this part of the screen that had the running total, and every 5 minutes it was like, people are dying.
And you know what's crazy about that? Like, when you compare the flu to this, and I'm not, like, comparing the two seasons.
Yeah.
When it comes to deaths and illnesses and cases.
Could you imagine if they did that with every flu?
Dude, oh my God, we'd have millions of people dying, and it's like,
there'd be riots in the street.
Duh. Sickness kills people. Get healthy, dude.
Like, it sucks, but
I can't remember what this stuff's called. Quercetin. I can't say it.
Creatine?
No, it's like QUERCTIN. I cannot say it, and it's spelled like 10 whatever, but it's like constant or something like that. I can't. It's weird. Anyway, so that actually taken with vitamin D3, the I need to learn how to say that word. So anyway, that taken with vitamin D, because like many people don't realize this, but 80% of Americans have a vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah, I think it is 80.
And it's not because you're not getting enough. It's because you're not absorbing it properly. And so the thing is that vitamin, I'm just going to say that vitamin, it actually it actually absorbs into the cell. It helps vitamin D absorb into the cell much better. And along with glutathione,
I believe, yeah.
Glutathione. Glutathione and whatnot. And all these help with COVID. And on top of that, like this I'm not even going to call it a vaccine. I'm going to call it a therapeutic, because...
So technically it is a vaccine.
How? Actually, what was it? The spike something. It's what it actually, because it says COVID is a spike thing, and it helps with. I don't know how to explain this. I'm not a virologist.
So the vaccine that's going around right now, they're just going ahead and directly injecting the antibodies into you instead of injecting a weakened virus and allowing your body to naturally produce the antibodies.
I was told it had nothing to do with COVID.
No, well, it doesn't. It doesn't. So they're not injecting.
I thought it was synthetic proteins that mimic the proteins that you create when you have COVID.
Correct. Well, the antibodies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
proteins.
They're skipping a step. So that actually doesn't have anything to do with COVID specifically. That's just a new vaccine technology that's new. It's within 10 years.
You saw that Mountain Dew kicked in.
Yeah.
Let's go. Anyway.
Oh, so get this shit though, and you probably saw this too. So then we find out. And again, because I'm pretty sure we said this, is that COVID was a massive overreaction. Mm-hmm. But remember all those ventilators?
Sitting in a warehouse
somewhere? No. Now there's quite a few doctors that are saying that a lot of people might have died because they were put on ventilators too early, because the ventilators put too much pressure on their damn lungs. And when you have a sickness that attacks the lungs, they're literally blowing people's lungs out.
What was it? Some doctors, this has nothing to do with anyone dying, but some doctors were claiming that if they kept their patients on their chests for 18 hours a day, and that they were seeing significant increases in lung capacity, because because of gravity, your chest moves out this way, it doesn't move backwards, so but kind of I don't know. No, you expand. But anyway, so
Well,
I don't know
only
what that did. But
I
the
only
thing
say
is,
that because they always check your breath from the back when they're checking. They like inhale, and they got the stethoscope back there.
well, you also have less. I want to say most people probably have less fat on their back than they do on their chest.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
Fat people.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just played one on the internet that one time.
Yeah, I have tits, so I'm just kidding. They're fake.
Most Americans have more fat in the front.
Definitely talking out my ass right now, and it definitely makes no sense. But it's okay. I'm of average intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. We're not above We're not.
Oh, and another thing I want to point out. Do you guys see the difference in ideologies and with this, but yet we still get along and we're very good friends, and we've been friends since we were kids? That's
Pound it.
That's how that works,
Yeah.
people. So
Well, because
if someone has a different opinion, so the fuck what?
Well, and the goal is to figure out what's true. And if we agree to disagree, then that just means neither one of us has conclusively given an argument that we can both agree is true.
And that,
And a lot of this shit is speculation.
Every bit of it.
It's like, okay, which is the coolest lightsaber? If you say Mace Windu, so help me God.
No, I definitely like, I didn't really like the new movies, but Kylo Ren's one was pretty fucking cool.
Ah, so gay. Darth Maul's.
I was getting ready to say that.
Darth Maul's was the coolest.
Actually, who wielded two?
There's been a few, but...
Those are my favorite.
Are you talking about...
I went to Dave and Buster's not too long ago, like a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And literally had VR set up. And
what?
Oh, yeah. And it was Star Wars. And I had two lightsabers, dude.
You're probably thinking of Ahsoka.
I don't know who it was. I couldn't see anybody because it was just VR. But anyway, dude, I'm throwing these lightsabers, killing these bots up in the thing, and all of a sudden I gotta fight Darth Vader, and he kills me.
Well, yeah, because Darth Vader's a badass.
I kept throwing my lightsaber at him, and did nothing, and I couldn't move towards him because I don't even know if I can move. I think he stood still. It was kind of basic VR, but it was still cool.
I still to this day, if I go to Dave and Buster's, they might not have it anymore. They might have replaced it, but that old school Star Wars arcade where you're in the globe.
We didn't go to. We went to the one in Greenwood, and it's junk. They have no good games. The one up in Castleton is fantastic.
Awesome.
But anyway, so you said it's a live one.
Huh?
Yeah, the game you played there.
No, it's the old arcade version with the joystick, and you go through.
Oh, okay.
But you do dual Darth Vader, but it's kind of easy because it tells you where to move your lightsaber.
Oh.
And I still fuck it up.
And, he got me.
It's like move to the left, and I'm like, oh shit.
Dyslexic.
And then I'm dyslexic, and then he's just like, you are beaten.
Oh damn. I'm our only viewer.
What?
I'm gonna shut it off. Watch. I didn't even know it was on my phone.
It's okay. People will go back and watch this one.
Oh man, it's been a good one so far.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm definitely happy with where we're at right now. So another prediction I'm thinking is extreme gun control is coming.
I think they're gonna try.
They're gonna have. I mean,
well, do you
have to have like 2/3 vote for that?
No,
or is that just legislation?
It depends on what they're trying to do. To amend the Constitution, you need quite a bit, so they're probably not going to go that far.
I'm completely forgetting my stance. I'm being dumb right now. It would go to the states because they're not going to do anything to the Second Amendment. They can't. I mean, without heavy votes.
They got both houses of Congress, man. Now it probably wouldn't make it through the Senate because there's enough Republican resistance.
And did you know
there.
they're talking about removing the filibuster? I'm like, you guys want to get rid of your power?
Yeah, I know. Well, again,
because if you're in control of the Senate,
that goes back to them not thinking long term. It's like, okay, you're assuming that you're going to maintain control forever, which I mean, that's just
stupid.
People are going to get sick of your shit, you know? Because even justifiably or not, people get sick of the status quo and they feel like they need to, because everybody wants to be part of a revolution, man.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I mean, let's look at it. The worst case scenario, they just make us socialist and then half the population starves to death and then we just overcorrect.
Hungry
people. Hungry hippies.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Hungry hippies. Stand in this cheese line until you run out of cheese.
I deserve that sandwich, man. I worked on my art today. That's like Leo from that '70s show at 20.
Oh.
I just realized that.
I was not sure where you're going with that. Was that on the show?
No, I'm just like I wasn't going anywhere with it. I'm just like, wow, that sounds just like Leo, but as a teenager.
Hey man,
It's true, man.
can I leave early? Do you remember when he's working at the photo hut?
Episode.
And he's like, man, my boss is kind of a dick.
Oh wait, I'm the boss.
Oh yeah.
I love it. He's like, can I leave early? He's like, sure. He's like, cool.
And when
and then at
when
the
he's
end,
yelling
he's like,
at him,
you need to get back to work.
man, my boss is a dick. That was awesome.
I just love it. It's like, or better yet, I could take a picture. Whoa, a picture of a photo hut. Yeah, that'd be like art or something.
Yeah, I got a couple of these things floating around, man.
I love Leo. I love that show.
That was. I mean, hell, we even talked about that show last podcast. It's such a good show.
How would you not like it? It's a show that shouldn't have worked, but it did.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not looking forward to like new shows and new movies with our current like atmosphere because like nothing's gonna be fun anymore.
Yeah, you can't have fun anymore. Like you can't.
It's like you can't say this, you can't say that. It's a microaggression. You can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, can you just stop being soft?
Stop taking everything so damn seriously.
I mean, in the end, you won't make it out alive.
Well, like now, I guess some SJWs are slinging shit Cobra Kai's way because it's not diverse.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, really? Because one of the main protagonists is fucking Hispanic, and then
Latino.
Latino.
I follow him on Instagram. Zolo, that's his name.
Yeah.
Such a cool name. And he's actually really badass at karate.
I know, right? Well, because this time they did their shit right, and they're like, let's not teach them karate. Let's get people who actually know karate or dance. Some of them have dance back. Most of them are martial arts, though.
And the thing is, I don't care if you're a martial artist or a dancist. You're a dancist. You're a martial dancist. Anyway, so they
capoeira.
They're strong.
Dance fighting.
Dancers are strong.
Yeah. Work a
a
lot of the same muscle groups, so it's usually a fairly easy transition.
Right. So they learn how to spin kick and.
Because I think the actor who plays Robbie had a dance background, and if he did, you can kind of tell by the way they move.
Did you see? Do you follow? You don't follow Zolo on Instagram? He was he posted, or it was on his story. He's like, what the hell, Netflix? He said that they had a picture of Robbie from I think another show, and he didn't have like the long goofy hair that he has now. It was like spiky up and whatnot. He's like, you made him look like a golden Greek god. And he's like, I thought I was a star. And I was like,
so
that
funny.
kid's kind of funny.
That's so funny. Oh, but then yeah, it just annoyed me because it's like, well, yeah, the two main protagonists are white because they were in the fucking 80s.
Just saying. But what I love about that show so much is because it feels like the movies.
Yeah.
Just with a little bit of, with modern.
Today. And then main character in the first two seasons, Aisha, African American. The short kid. They got the two short kids. One's white.
Unfortunately
one's
for Aisha, they phased her out because they had no more character development with her. Did you know that?
Yeah, but they might bring her back.
Yeah, because fans are pissed off that she's not in it.
Well, and I agree. I think that was kind of shitty.
They ran out of storyline for her, and I'm like, you could at least send her off. Like, hey guys, I'm moving.
Yeah,
give an explanation,
I
not
agree.
just disappeared.
Or maybe, hey, for all we know, maybe they have a long-term plan with that because I guess the actress lost a ton of weight. So she might come back. I've heard some people think she's going to come back in season 4, but be part of Kreese's Cobra Kai.
Nah,
I don't know. Like again, it's
but
all
the
theories.
thing is, though, someone said that because you got to think after the fight of season 2, she did kind of disappear. And the thing is, something crazy like that, and then what's his name, Miguel's character getting hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, she could have been like,
sense.
I'm done.
It makes sense.
And so they just wrote
I don't
her
like
off.
what they're doing with Tori though. That was probably my one complaint from season 3.
I didn't need a backstory on her.
Well, no, that's not my issue.
I didn't think she was really that interesting.
They basically wrote her out, and I'm like, she was such an integral character in season 2, and now she's kind of in the background.
Well, because the thing is, I mean, she was love interest of,
Miguel.
was it just Miguel?
Pretty much.
Yeah, but now that she and Robbie were in Cobra Kai,
Yeah.
With Kreese, and
I just hope they bring back Terry Silver for season 4.
he was so terrible. Why does everyone like him?
Because he's awesome.
No, he was terrible.
Dude.
He got his ass whooped by Miyagi. Like nothing.
Everybody got their ass whipped by Miyagi.
No one ever even touched Miyagi. He's just like bam, bam. He got beat up worse than freaking Three Ninjas. Remember? He got his ass whooped.
In Three Ninjas?
Yeah, he was Grandpa.
No, different actor. I'm talking about Terry Silver.
Oh.
Pat Morita wasn't.
Pat Morita was in Three Ninjas.
Nope,
Yes.
not him.
Yeah, he was Grandpa. Look it up.
I will look it up right now. It's not him.
Because he's like this. Boys!
You're gonna be so mad because it's not him. Because I remember looking this up ages ago.
Actually, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's a different guy.
I think they're very similar.
Very similar. I think he was modeled after Miyagi to a certain extent, but
Yeah, because there was something wrong with his eye.
Victor Wong.
Damn it. Why did I think he was in Three Ninjas?
Well, I mean,
No, I looked up, Pat Morita, or whatever his name is.
Noriyuki Pat Morita.
His American voice is scary.
No, right? It's so wrong.
I only know him talking
Well,
like
because
this.
so many of us, like in our age group, saw Pat Morita first as Mr. Miyagi. Now I gotta know, where have I seen that actor? Because I guess Karate Kid Part 3 was that actor's.
All right, look.
It was his first role.
Let's pause the Cobra Kai talk right now.
Okay, yeah, because we're gonna.
Let's get back on our thing. But the thing is, we need a Cobra Kai podcast.
Yes, but okay. In closing, Terry Silver is the Donald Trump of the Karate Kid franchise. I mean, think about.
Damn you!
Think about it. Total badass, sitting in a fucking bubble bath.
And no, Biden is not Mr. Miyagi.
No. Sitting in a fucking bubble bath with a gold telephone telling motherfuckers to dump toxic sludge. Then his old-ass secretary walks in, not even blinking an eye, and then he's negotiating with Mike Barnes. All while he's in a fucking tub. That's zero fucks given. That is a villain right there. That's some 80s villainy. That's like Scrooge McDuck if he was an asshole.
He was pretty badass. But the thing is, he also... I liked it when he was teaching Daniel.
Well, he wasn't wrong.
He was just like... And then when he made him like finally break through that wood, and he's like basically saying, hey, stop being a pussy.
Well, and that was one issue. That's one of the many reasons I don't like Karate Kid Part 3.
They're talking about fan theory. They may bring back Mike Barnes too.
Yeah, I've heard that.
We'll see though.
But
I mean, they've brought back everyone so far.
Well, yeah, why not?
They should.
That was my biggest beef with that when Daniel's learning to break the wood on the dummy. It's like, really? You haven't done this yet?
That's what I was thinking.
It's like, you went to Okinawa to train. Like, you haven't been breaking shit? Like,
yeah, me.
No offense, but like, you must not have hit Johnny all that hard if you can't even break wood.
Well,
like
I would say a kick's definitely.
Well, but the first time he tried to break it was with a kick, and he was like, ow.
Yeah.
Which I can't talk. I have a busted knuckle from a break gone awry, but...
All right. Topic.
Donald Trump. Yeah, we'll do a Cobra Kai.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we'll talk about politics during the Cobra Kai podcast.
Oh my god,
it's gonna happen.
It all ties in.
It's gonna happen.
I hate it. It all ties in. It's like you can't get away from it.
You know what? If the Republicans had adopted the strategy of Cobra Kai, we wouldn't be in this mess. You know what? I'm calling it.
Strike first.
Strike hard, no mercy. Actually, I think they pretty well did that, and it came back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah. So actually, they they screwed up with Kreese's method, and then Johnny Lawrence learned, and he said, "No mercy's not our thing."
Eagle Fang 2022.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst name ever. He's gonna get Cobra Kai back.
I was gonna say they had to make it ridiculous because they could. I feel that told me he was gonna get Cobra Kai back because I'm like, that's so bad.
You see, even when we say we're gonna get away from it, we're still on it.
But Eagle Fang's so stupid. Like, but they can't have the new school be cooler than Cobra Kai. So I get it.
No, and that's the funny thing is everybody always walks in. It's like Cobra Kai though. That's such a badass name.
It is a badass name. Yeah,
but back in the day though, when we were watching, obviously everybody was rooting for Miyagi-Do. Dojo. See, Trump, you should have studied with Miyagi. Dumbass.
He teach you
He teach you politics.
Karate, self-defense only.
Tate.
But Daniel starts a lot of fights for being in Miyagi-Do. Just saying.
Yeah. Because the thing is, he didn't learn. He wasn't Miyagi though. That's the thing. Everybody was always like, "Oh, he didn't learn this and that." It's like, yeah, but he's not Mr. Miyagi. He's himself. He was just taught by him to try to make better choices. And for the most part, he tries, but he lets his ego get in the way.
Exactly.
Whereas
Johnny embodies his sensei's teachings almost to the core and then builds on it and makes it better.
Johnny Lawrence is my favorite.
Awesome. Yeah, he's
and it's like
awesome.
When old boy came into his apartment and was like trying to fight him, I was like, Lawrence is about to whoop your ass, dude. You better calm down.
So this is funny, like, because I've given up. I got to go on this tangent. So did you watch How I Met Your Mother?
Very no.
So they do a bit with the Karate Kid in that.
Was Machio in it?
Yeah, Machio and William Zabka were in it, and they were recurring characters because of it.
I remember that because was it? Is it William Zaxpa or whatever his name is? Was he in like a suit and he rips it off?
Yeah, he was in a clown costume for Barney's bachelor party. There's a line in the last season that William Zabka has that I don't know why it just cracks me up every time. They're talking about they're gonna go see the captain, and Ted's like, you wouldn't dock a dinghy in a lagoon, and then William Zabka just goes, I don't know, Ted, in certain tidal conditions. It's so stupid.
Have you seen the Machio? I can't pronounce his name right. Someone says Machio, someone says Machio.
It's Machio.
Anyway, so Ralph Macchio, he's like 40 years old, and he's it's like a Funny or Die segment. Did you see that?
I believe so.
And he looks so fucking young.
I know. That's
and he still looks young. But in this one,
he's older than me.
He's literally saying, he's like, I'm 40 years old and I've only had sex with my wife. And she's like, that's it? Oh my gosh, like that. And then he's going out and he's like going to parties and whatnot. That shit was hilarious.
It was
and then that one guy's like, oh, can you do the crane kick? And he's like, yeah, motherfucker. And bam, kicks him in his face. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. And he runs off. It's so funny.
It is so, but anyway, the whole reason I bring this up is because when I was watching that show for the first, this is well before Cobra Kai was a thing. I even was like, man, that would be so cool to revisit that. Because like I didn't realize they were both still working, and they were apparently. And then lo and behold, Cobra Kai happens. I'm like, I have to believe that had something to do with it. Like the guys behind Cobra Kai saw that and they're like, oh, that'd be an interesting thing to go back and look at it.
I don't know, but I appreciate them for bringing that back and making me watch that.
You guys are so... Thank you.
I'm so mad. Well, I'm not mad at myself because I waited forever and then I was like, hey, there's 2 seasons and there's one going to come out.
I binged
it all.
I didn't wait for shit.
I didn't even know about it because the thing is, all I heard was Cobra Kai, and it'd been forever since I've seen The Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember what the fuck Cobra Kai was. I was like, what is that? That sounds stupid. Blah, blah, blah. You know, judging a book by its cover and then watching it like...
Yeah, but that cover was awesome. It was all chrome.
It was chrome.
Send it to the internet.
I don't really have much more. I mean,
I don't either.
There's nothing we can really say that's gonna make any sense.
Well, I did have a quote in closing. This is from Andrew
Johnson. Until they
Johnson.
actually do something. Go ahead.
Do what?
I said until they do something.
Yeah.
Well,
but for this is basically for the people that say that they don't have grounds to impeach Trump. This is from Andrew Johnson's impeachment in 1868.
First president ever impeached?
I don't think so. No, I think John Adams was the first one ever impeached.
My bad.
I don't know. Is that? I don't know. Anyway, maybe that was skipping inauguration. No, he wasn't the first one. I don't remember who the first one was. But anyway, this is from basically the charges that were filed against him. And this is an excerpt, so it's not the whole thing. But it's like, with a loud voice, certain intemperate, inflammatory, and scandalous herrings, which is basically like just turns of phrase, and did therein utter loud threats and bitter menaces against Congress and the laws of the United States duly enacted thereby. Wow, my chicken scratch is terrible. And the cases, jeers, and laughter of the multitude then assembled and within bearing. Now, Johnson was acquitted of his impeachment, but he was impeached basically for being an asshole and making threats to Congress.
But wouldn't those threats have to be physical? Like,
Not necessarily. Not for impeachment. For a criminal case, yes. But because an impeachment is not like a criminal thing.
but that's the thing. What? And I'm assuming you're comparing that to today.
Yeah.
So, like, what would be a good example of what Trump has said that would agree with that?
I think in this case, it's not so much what he said, it's what he failed to do.
Well, the thing is, though, inaction
Can most definitely be. So let's draw a parallel to Bill Clinton. So Bill Clinton was impeached basically for lying under oath.
Yeah.
Which
it's not illegal to do what he did. He just lied about it.
Right, but he wasn't impeached for getting a Hummer in the Oval Office. He was impeached
for lying about
it under oath,
Yeah.
which is a crime. That perjury. That's a crime. But again, we are talking about things that were said here. Now, so what it really comes down to is, if you're looking at it from whether or not it's a criminal, if it has to be a criminal offense to be impeached, is Trump guilty of criminal incitement? I would say no. But I guess for lack of a better term, maybe he's guilty of civil incitement?
It depends on what the current...
Yeah, no, it's a matter of opinion.
That's all it is.
But the opinion of the courts, well, not the courts, it's the opinion of Congress, basically.
In which the Republicans still have majority in the Senate until
January 20th.
So, therefore, it's dead in the water.
Unless
I don't think they're going to go for it. I think more will follow suit, but not enough.
I don't think that. Yeah, like you said, I don't think they'll have enough.
They had 10. I want to say 10 Republicans.
Well,
in the Senate, or I'm sorry, in the House, who voted yes for impeachment.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing, though. If I'm a Republican and I'm thinking purely of bailing out my party, it does the party no good to stand behind Trump right now. It does them no good.
I don't think it does any good for them either way.
It does more good to at least, because you might, and this is a big might, you might sway. So if you have some more, moderate or even right-leaning Democrats, because I think what might happen is if the Democrats start going really lefty, like super lefty, you're going to lose some of the more moderate Democrats. I mean, you are.
I don't see how they haven't so far.
Well, I think mostly because they've been able to keep the squad fairly silent when it counts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they let him get out there and talk, but I mean, it's just like, yeah, you're just saying stupid shit, you're just let him talk.
That's what gets me about Biden. He's a moderate.
Yeah,
makes absolutely no sense.
He's this messiah of the left, and it's like,
no. Just wait, because like I said, they were already pissed at him for putting moderate people in positions.
Yeah, I know.
And not crazy, insane lefties.
Crazy lefties, yeah. Well, I think that's a good stopping point.
It's not going to happen. Prediction.
I don't know.
I think you want it to.
No, I'll put it this way. I think he'll get impeached, but I don't think it'll stick.
Well, he is technically impeached.
Yeah, well, yeah.
By the House.
So I guess.
So technically, he has been impeached twice.
Woohoo!
So you win. Congratulations. You get a high five. That's it.
History.
Yes. But the thing is, though, no president in the past has been impeached twice in the House. So
no president's been impeached twice ever.
But there's only been one complete impeachment, right? Because Nixon would have been the second one, but he resigned.
Yeah, he resigned.
Oh, yep. He was about to get hammered. He's like, all right, see you later.
I am not a crook.
Yeah.
It's like, well, not yet. Technically, you bailed before we could make you one. But
and honestly, like Watergate, that's when they stopped recording presidents' phone calls. And I'm like, why? Why?
Because Nixon got caught.
That's my point. Why did you stop recording? Like, you caught something.
Because Nixon got caught.
I don't understand why they... we're not going to get into that, so it's whatever.
Well, you see, before then, no one ever thought that anyone would be stupid enough. Nobody thought anyone would ever be stupid enough to get caught breaking into a hotel room.
You're on a recorded phone line. Do you have the meth? You're on a recorded phone line, sir. The meth. Do you have it?
Sir, the code word is stuff.
Stuff.
Do you have
the meth?
Do you have the meth?
I don't care if you have the stuff. Just give me the fucking drugs.
Who's talking about stuff? I want the drugs. I want the drugs. God damn it.
What was that? It was a show recently.
I know what you're talking about, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was.
He's like, I don't fucking care. Just give me the drugs. It was almost that to a T. Our conversation right there. Did not model that after that.
Or is it Wolf of Wall Street? Get off the phone!
That was such a great movie. I watch it at least once a month or every 2 months.
I do. Whenever it's funny. Whenever
Plus
I need
the Duchess.
He's like, Dad, you should see the girls these days.
The shaving down below. No bush?
Everywhere. I like the bush.
I kind of like the bush. Oh, who's that? Rob Reiner?
Yeah.
He's classic. Did you ever watch, was it All in the Family? With Archie Bunker?
Oh, yeah. All in the
he was
Family
on it. Dude, he had like red hair.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, but he wasn't Archie. Yeah.
I don't freaking know. I think it was All in the Family is what he was in.
I don't remember.
Because I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that's a good stopping point. People, Wednesdays.
9:30 p.m.
9:30 p.m. We just did an echo. 9:30 p.m. Check out our merch store. Check out both merch stores.
YouTube.com/Arete Media.
You need to get me your. Actually, I can get it. I'll just post your Teespring store for the.
Yeah. I'll just give you the link.
And that was a burp. So 9:30.
For those of you that are listening and not watching, that
now it says 9:30. Maybe 9:40, 9:20.
It's 9:30-ish.
Yes, because
besides, you can always go back and rewatch what you missed.
Real life happens anyway. So please like, share, subscribe.
Yes, please.
Comment.
Please like, share, subscribe, engage, comment.
Really could use.
We love engagement. We love engagement.
Yes, engagements.
Even if you don't speak English, we'll figure it out. We have before. We've done this.
Yeah, kind of. Alrighty. Till next time. It's the Joe Rogan Podcast.
All day.